Hi everyone, so I am very excited about this interview. I am here with Serena Stone and I'm just going to give you a little background into who she is and why I'm going to interview her today. So Serena is an internationally renowned medical Qigong instructor. She focuses on abdominal massage, natural health. She is author of several books and I'm doing her course at the moment on Qigong, which has just been really amazing. She is so inspiring and empowering with the knowledge that she is giving us at the moment, and you're also extremely funny. I have to say, I love your little stories, but you have a very clear way of presenting information, which is really just, I'm absorbing it and I love it. So today I really wanted to bring her on to talk about the Jade Egg practice, because it is a question that I get asked about a lot, and I thought who better than you to ask, since I'm doing your course and you did touch on it yesterday. So firstly, I've got a few questions for you.
We've got a few questions. That's a good place to start.
Is there anything you want to add? I know you've spent 2 decades working under Master Mantak here.
Yes.
And you mentioned yesterday that you spent 1.5 years working with an Indian guru as well. So you've got
I did.
amazing experiences.
I did. I wouldn't say, I don't usually count my experiences with the Indian guru as part of my education, to be honest with you. That was more of a personal journey, but I feel like in that 1.5 years, I at least have an understanding of Ayurvedic medicine. So there's that. What I'm educated in is the Taoist medical Qigong. And I know you asked me, you said, I really like the way you describe those words.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe I would I just washed my lips and I can't do a thing with them, excuse me. I thought I would, for your audience, describe what medical Qigong is, and then know that the sexual energy work for women it's a part of that. In the Tao, like Tao means the way of nature or the way without force, okay? In the Tao, we believe that you can't go on to the higher practices until we've mastered our sexual energy or reproductive energy. So actually, for as excited as everybody gets about sexual energy work, and it is very exciting, really, it's part of the basic. It's not really considered, high-flying, immortal Tao practices, and yet without it, you simply can't go forward. If we are run by our hormones, that's your story. You're run by your hormones. So, Taoist medical Qigong is what I teach. I have a passion for it. My work and my worship are the same. Taoist, again, means the way of nature or the way without force in the Chinese language. They use characters of when they write. So it's more of a feeling or a concept when you are looking at Chinese writing. So one translation is the way of nature. Another translation is the way without force. Tao. T-A-O in English, pronounced D, like a D, Tao. The way, the path. But again, these are concepts. My favorite is the way of nature. No, maybe my favorite is the way without force. And then the way of nature. So there's that. And this is not a religion, it's a philosophy. It's very important to remember that. So, Taoist, right, to study the Tao. Taoist, medical, we know what that word is. It means medicine, right? To take care of ourselves, medicine. Taoist, medical, Qi. The word Qi means energy. That's it. Not necessarily a specific kind of energy, just energy. We create different kinds of energy. We run into energy all over the world. So just Qi is a very simple word, energy. Okay? So Taoist, medical, Qi, Gong is the last word, K-U-N-G or G-O-N-G, depending on who your teacher is. And it means work. So we have natural, medicine, energy, work. We put it all together and it actually makes sense. And there's a lot, you tried meditation while you were here, seated medical Qigong. What makes it medical? We're focusing on the physical body. In the Tao, we don't start doing all these advanced practices, even though sexual energy work is a basic. Even that, we don't mess with that too much until we handle step one. Step one is emotional balance. That could take a while.
That was actually a question I had. I'll move on to that a bit later, but yeah, you did answer that very perfectly. So going back to the jade egg then, and the jade egg practice, could you give us a little bit of history about like where that came from?
Yes.
And also, what is it? Because a lot of people, they hear it, they hear the term, and they're not really sure what that is. They have different, conceptions of that.
Well, part of the confusion
Yeah.
is that now these practices go back at least 5,000 years ago, at least, probably more. And by the way, we have found the divine feminine, female sexual energy work, male sexual energy work as well, but we've found this all over the world, okay? It just recorded history is kind of gets blurry after a little over 5,000 years ago, okay? So what we know is that in those days, they understood, those days meaning over 5,000 years ago, they understood that the power in the egg that a woman makes before before we ovulate, right? Release the egg, it goes down, and prepares itself to plant itself into the womb, hopefully with a little sperm in it. That's what it wants. That's what every month, at least one egg, usually just one, gets enough energy to make life. Okay, this is a huge amount of energy. It's a little battery in there, okay? So what they understood 5,000 years ago is that if you don't want to make a baby, you could harness that energy and keep it in the body. You don't have to, as women, expel the egg. You don't have to have premenstrual syndrome and lose. Some women are losing liters of blood every month. We also, we lose energy also in the pain. There's so much pain and hormonal imbalance, blah, blah, blah. I mean, hormonal imbalance, PMS, big problem. Yeah, you can lose a lot of energy, either being really sad or really angry. We lose a lot of energy. So there were so many ways that women were losing energy, but they also acknowledged that we were creating energy. We make energy every month until a certain age to make a baby. So we harness that energy, and part of, originally, jade egg practice had nothing to do with some of the stuff I've talked to you guys about. Had nothing to do with incontinence, right? Sneezing and wetting your pants. It had nothing to do with the knowledge that you need muscle in order to create lubrication for enjoyable sex. None of that. They didn't realize they didn't care that you needed muscle to hold your uterus up. That was not why the jade egg practice originally came about. And I don't even think I discussed this in class because I didn't want everybody leaping ahead and doing things before they were ready. But I'm going to tell your audience that traditionally, jade egg practice was created for women to practice. It's just a practice. It is not its own meditation. You need to get that. To practice pulling energy up. Okay? In particular, the energy that's in the ovaries and the uterus. We pull it very hard. Also, orgasmic energy. If you can create orgasmic energy and then not shoot it out, you now have something very powerful. And without being vulgar, I'll tell you, it's sort of like taking a power nap.
Yeah.
All right, so that's originally why the jade egg practice was created for women thousands of years ago, to have an exercise tool. That's all it is to this day. It's an exercise tool so that we can become strong. For them, it was strong enough to pull sexual energy up, different kinds of sexual energy, from the egg, orgasmic, non-orgasmic, whatever, and keep us youthful and strong. What we've seen in the doctrines and then the lovely paintings is eventually they figured out a strong vaginal canal also makes us kind of attractive to those who might want to put something in that vaginal canal. Because of, well, think about it.
Yeah.
You can squeeze hard.
Yes.
So that's where it came from. That's the history of it.
Yeah. And I think yesterday too, like, I'm going to ask you a question on that at the very end because I know that's what people are wanting to know. But what I really like about the Dao practice of, you know, the way you've also shown it, the way that I've been practicing it, is you need the grounding work first of getting to know, I guess it's like self-love, it's like self-understanding and, you know, of like the microcosmic orbit, the smile, and, you know, that foundation work, you need to do that first because